Hi, good, thank you. Yourself?
Good, yeah. The last time we talked to you was right at the beginning of preseason, and you talked about wanting to be a bigger leader on this team, and then obviously with trading Jonah a couple weeks ago. How does that change your role as a leader?
Phew. Obviously, I think it's a big loss. I think for not just the club, but I think for the community as well. What Jonah represented for the last 6 years here was massive. It was obviously long before I was here, long time before I came, and I realised the impact he had on the team and on the public in general here in Columbus. And he's a great person. But from the other side, you have to understand football, and football's like that. Some of the biggest players in Real Madrid history have left the club. Casillas, Raúl, Ramos, Ronaldo, they all leave at a certain point. And that's the same thing with Jonah. I wish him all the best in San Jose and his family. My role doesn't change. I stay the same person as I am. Try to help the young players, try to help the players around me just become, first of all, better people. And when they become better people, then your footballing will become better. Because the most important thing in life is to be a good human, and then the football kind of takes over after that, and it will just kind of goes with the flow. Apart from that, it's just helping on the pitch, being vocal, being loud, supporting the boys in every moment on the pitch, off the pitch, and just being a good example with the experience I have and the experience I bring to this club. I think is of great value for me and for the club as well.
Speaking of young players, Jason told us a couple weeks ago that you've kind of taken him under your wing a little bit. How has that been for you?
I love it because I think Jason is a very talented footballer. I think he's got a bright future ahead of him if he's got the brains. I try to teach him things while I train and play against him, because he's a striker and I'm a defender, and every time I play, while I play, I focus on what I do, but I focus on what he does to try and help him make my life more difficult, because if he makes my life more difficult, that means he's doing something right and he's learning. And I really believe in him. Being 19, 20 years of age, having the opportunity to be in the first team here and having two good strikers he can learn from, I think is very important. And I think hopefully he gets his chance this year, as he did last year. He did really well in the time he got last year, and I think he will do well again this year. And if he does, I think a lot of doors will open up for him.
For both of you, just how have you seen?
Sorry.
How have you seen playing style, tactics, things like that come together throughout preseason? Obviously, you guys have been in on the scrimmages and stuff that haven't been made public. What is there for fans to be excited about as you head into week one?
You're good, bro.
I think it will be a little bit of a different style of football, different type of system. Obviously, don't want to give too much away, as I want people to come to the stadium and have a look and enjoy what we do. Apart from that, it's been very productive. I think we've all learned a lot. I think we've all developed ourselves and our games a lot and improved. And I think what the boss is asking us to do and the coaching staff are going to be of big importance, especially of us at the back, to help the team. But also, I think this year will be in a little bit of a different way, more attractive in terms of maybe when we have the ball. But then again, football's a two-team game. It's not just 11 against 0. So it's gonna depend as well on what and how and who we face. But for me, and I think for all of us in the club and the coaching staff, it's 99.9% of the time it's what we do and how we prepare for games and let other teams adjust to us. So I think it'll be a very exciting game, exciting year. Sorry, not a game.
Stephen, we've talked to you about leadership already once this preseason. Can you give some examples of how you've tried to step into a bigger leadership role as you've gotten ready for this year?
No, me, it's like the same of Milos. If Milos do some shit, I go slap my guy. No, just no, I don't change. I speak with a young player like Jason. For me, more fussy because he play in the right, same position of me. and just I want to help the guy. I'm a funny guy, you know. It's not you need to do this. You can give mistake. Everybody give mistake. Just stay strong mentality and just keep going.
You both have given examples of young guys that you've worked with individually. Both Tim Bezbachenko and Coach Nancy talked about the importance of young players stepping up either from Crew 2 or that were on the first team getting minutes. How have you seen some of the young guys blossom maybe in this preseason to have a bigger role this year than maybe they did a year ago?
You want to talk about? You want to say something? Or?
Max. Max. Yeah.
Yeah, I think Max, who just signed, Sean, who we both actually believe in a lot and think is an outstanding midfielder. But I think you can't really say over the 5-6 week period where we're in preseason, you can't say, oh, he's going to be really good or he's going to be really good. I think it's not enough time, and there's a big difference between training and between playing games in the MLS. And I think a lot of these boys who are here, Phil, Sean, Aiden, who's been in the first team for a while, Max, who's just signed, Jason, Mo Farsi, Paddy, the goalkeeper. You know, they're all young players who have a bright future, but there's a big difference between training and playing games. So these guys will need time, will need games. And when they do play, they'll need the support of us. Older players will need the support of the people in the club, and they'll need the support of fans. You can't expect players who are very young and who haven't got the MLS experience to play one game and be like, oh, why is he doing this? Why is he doing that? So you need to give players time. Some players can adapt and adjust a bit quicker. Some will take their time. But all in all, the club's got belief in these players. That's why they're here. We have belief in these players, and that's why we're there to support them, to guide them in a way. And the coach believes in them, and that's why they're training with us. And that's why I believe throughout the whole year, the season's long, a lot of football to be played, and I think they'll all get their chance at some point.
Chris,
Thank you.
Guys, thanks a lot.
No
Stephen, knowing how Coach Nancy's teams have played in the past and knowing where you play on the field, how excited are you for what this season could look like in the attacking half of the field for your career?
Milos can help me, bro.
Is he excited, Milos, or not?
I think he's very excited. I don't want to say too much. Obviously, it's a two-person interview with one person talking and one smiling. I think he's very excited. I think Stephen has adjusted to his new role very well. Again, I don't want to say too much because unless the boss says things, then I don't want to kind of jump in and burst his bubble and say, oh, he's doing this, we're doing that. So I think Stevie has adapted to his new role very well, and in training and in the pre-season games we've had, he's been very exciting to watch. And I think Stephen will have obviously a good year. But apart from that, I think he's going to be very important for me personally, but for the team in general, because just of his presence and purely based on the fact that Stephen's got a little bit more experience than most of the other guys around there where he plays. So Stephen's going to be one very, I guess, entertaining to watch when he has the ball, but when he doesn't have the ball, he needs to learn to be a little bit more harder, a little bit more aggressive, and a little bit more, I guess, present, and that will come with games.
Stephen, you agree with that?
Yeah.
Thanks, gentlemen.
Nothing else? I was happy to sit here and talk.
Yeah, Milos,
That's it, man.